I just spent 2 hours of my life watching TikToks that I had sent to my therapist because life, man. I'm pretty sure my FBI agent is like a bit worried about me too, so they're probably hiring a therapist for me as we speak. Anyways, besties, welcome back to this train wreck of a channel. I'm your conductor, choo-choo, bitch. So I had an idea. I came up with this idea at like 3 in the morning when my anxiety wouldn't let me sleep, and my brain was like, you know, it'd be a great idea for your channel because you need to spice things up a bit. What if you started a series, passive aggressive letters to blah blah blah. So here's how it's gonna go. I will read to you guys a letter that I wrote to whomever I'm being passive aggressive with, and then I'll follow it up with the short story while I do my makeup. Yeah, that was it. Before we get into this video, a few disclaimers. The first one is not all men are trash. We have BTS in our lives and we have Ben Barnes in our lives. I mean, have you heard Ben Barnes read poetry? Listen, if you want my number, pretty much just be Ben Barnes and read to me Keats or Hemingway or Louis Stevenson. Otherwise, just keep walking. Second disclaimer, I swear a lot in my videos and I'm not going to apologize for swearing. That's just who I am. So if you have a problem with that, I suppose you can go watch a different video. The last thing is, if I have a mental breakdown because I'm going through my past and my memories, I do apologize for that, but just so you know, that could happen. We don't know. This is why I'm in therapy. Dear men, I was reminded of you the other day when I was on the bus. I met this older gentleman who showed me what it was to be courageous, courteous, and chivalrous. When he sat down right next to me, when there were so many seats available, I couldn't help but swoon. Bro, I mean, who doesn't love old men, age of their fathers, hitting on them? He reminded me so much of you. When he manspread and tried to touch my leg. When I told him no, he laughed. I didn't think I was that funny. I'm glad he appreciated my humor. And you know, when he followed me around for the next 20 minutes after I got off the bus, I felt something. It couldn't have been fear. Fear is when you're scared. I wasn't scared. I felt my heart drop. Again, couldn't be from fear. You know what? I think it was because it was so romantic. We women love being pursued. When you talk down to us, we appreciate it when you remind us of our place. We could never be on your level of intelligence. And we, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for letting us know. When you touch us without our permission, we feel so appreciated and loved. Yes, please keep trying to touch my shoulders, my waist, or smack my ass on the way out. Because nothing says you are more of a man than touching us like feral animals. But you know what? I gotta ask. This is a burning question. Where do you store your audacity? Because let me tell you, we don't know. Is it in your balls? Because women, we don't have balls. So we wouldn't know what it's like to have audacity. Tell us, what is it like to have audacity? Were you just born with it? Or were you just born with it? You know, above all else, I hope you're doing well. Yours truly, Fed Up Women. I didn't think it was gonna come across as aggressive as it did, and I'm not even sorry about it. So you're probably wondering what set you off and made you write this letter, and let me tell you, it was Friday. I was coming home from work and this dude decides to sit right next to me when there's like a bunch of open available seats in a bus. I'm talking about there was probably 4 other people on the bus, including the bus driver. And this old ajushi, this old man, just decides to plant himself down right next to me. And you know, at first I wasn't so bothered by it because I'm trying to be like, keep an open mind, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh boy, here we go again. Tell me why. He just started talking in English, and I kind of understood the excitement of seeing a foreigner and trying to practice the language. So I wasn't too like pissed off in his face, you know, I was just kind of like, oh, cool, yeah, you know what? You seem harmless enough. What you say? Let's talk. So he's telling me about how he was an English teacher and he was a homeroom teacher for a bunch of high schoolers, and this was his last year of teaching. And I was just like, okay, cool, great. Wow, that's so exciting.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping.
And he was like, what are you doing here, blah, blah. And so I told him like, oh, I'm also an English teacher as well. And he's like, oh, what school do you teach? And I'm like, I'm not telling you. So I told him like, oh, for privacy reasons with my contract, I can't tell you. And he was like, oh, okay. And then this man decided that he was gonna manspread. Why? So he man-spread. So our legs were touching. And I'm just like, excuse me, sir. Please don't do that. Thank you. I'm a small person. So I squeezed myself so far up to the window. So like there was enough room for me to like not touch him anymore. But no, this man decides to scoot in. And that's when I was like, we're gonna throw some hands. Who can say where and then he's like,
do you have a boyfriend? Are you Russian? Where you come from? You're so beautiful. What do you look like behind that mask?
Then I was just like,
oh shit, here we go again.
Bitch, the fuck? And so then I was like, excuse me? And then he was like,
you're just so beautiful and I don't meet a lot of foreigners and you look like you're Russian.
Let me give you guys a quick history lesson. So, Russian women back in the day, especially like late 1950s, were considered prostitutes. They were the quote-unquote riding the white horse. So a lot of Russian women that came to Korea or were forced to come to Korea were used as prostitutes or escorts. So to me, it's kind of an insult when older men ask if I'm Russian or I look Russian. To me, it's not much of an insult as it is a compliment when a younger man says, oh, you look like you're Russian, because the younger generation see Russian women as very beautiful, but the older generation see Russian women as the white whores or quote unquote schmexy times. And I'm over here being like, shut the fuck up. I got super uncomfortable and I was like, I'm getting off the bus. So I am smacking the bus stop button away like my life depended on it, because I'm like, I need to get off. He like was trying to make a joke and then he would laugh about something. He would like reach over and try to like pat my leg, and I was like, please don't touch me.
And he's like, what?
And I was like, I don't feel comfortable you touching me. Please, can you scoot just a little bit? I was just so done. And so he kept asking,
do you have a boyfriend?
Now, here's something that I don't like to say, and it's, I don't like to use the excuse of I have a boyfriend or a husband or a fiance to get a man to respect me when I say no or when I ask them to leave me alone. The fact that no isn't even respected at all in the first place, or please leave me alone, says a great deal about the men in our society and how us women just use that an excuse to get out of situations. One of the reasons why, I know I got a lot of questions and from you guys being like, why didn't you say you had a boyfriend? Why didn't you say you had a husband? First of all, in that moment, I didn't think that my life was at risk or at danger where I had to go to the extreme to say I have a boyfriend or I have a husband. And two, I'm not going to use another man as a way to escape a situation that is caused by a man. You get what I mean? I told him, I do not have a boyfriend. Please don't touch me. And he's like,
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to invade your personal space.
And then this motherfucker goes,
can I get your number?
And I said, no. And he's like,
oh, I just want to practice English.
I'm like, no. His English was impeccable. This man clearly was an English teacher. I could tell, because his English was really good. If he wasn't such a dick, I would have complimented him on his English, but he was being a gross ajushi, and I was just like, fuck off. I asked him, do you have a wife? Do you have kids? Do you have family here? He's like,
yeah, I have 2 kids. My son is in college. I think he's your age.
How old are you?
I hate Scotland.
So I was like, oh, I'm 25, and he's like,
yeah, my son's your age.
so I'm over here being like, you mean to tell me you're trying to hit on me who's your kid's age? Sir. And then he's like, can I get your number? And I was like, I don't think your wife would appreciate that. And then finally my bus pulled over. This is my stop. Bye. I got off my bus early, like a few stops before my actual stop. I was like, fuck it, I will just walk for the next 30 minutes back home if it means I don't have to talk to this man. And yet, this old she's like, oh, this is my stop too. So then I asked him, are you following me? He got so angry when I asked him that. And he's like,
no, this is my stop. I'm going this way.
and I was like, okay, continue on going.
He's like, well, what are you doing here? I'm like,
I'm waiting for a different bus. Long story short, this man tried to follow me home, and I ended up having to get a taxi home. And I'm like, peace out. If you fucking try to follow me, I'm calling the cops. At this point, I was just so done with the world and with men. This is what triggered me into writing a fucking passive-aggressive letter to men, because this is the bullshit women gotta go through. So apparently this is one of the reasons why I should not be doing YouTube, because I can't even do a simple task such as pressing the
Record button.
You're probably wondering, how did you go from looking ogreish to being human within the span of a few seconds? Well, it's because I forgot to press record button. So I had another story for you guys while I was doing my makeup, but again, because I am an incompetent piece of shit.
What up? I'm Jared, I'm 19, and I never fucking learned how to read.
So you get one story today. So before I peace out, I do have a few things to say, and that is for men. 1, women don't owe you shit. We don't owe you anything, just as we don't expect anything from you guys. Don't expect shit from us. 2, quit complaining about having to go through certain like minor inconveniences to go talk to a woman or ask a woman out. Keep in mind, we've been going through major inconveniences since, I don't know, the day we existed. We've had to put up with catcalling, sexual assault. We've had to put up with being stalked, followed, harassed, all of the above. So until you guys have had to go through that, suck it up. We've had to suck it up. You can do it, you know? Another thing, if you demand respect from us or from anyone in general, make sure you give it back as well, okay? You have no idea how attractive being respectful is. Another thing, try to understand why women act the way we do when you approach us. Keep in mind, we've probably been approached by creeps before and it's never ended well. So when we act a certain way in response of, you know, you guys approaching, keep in the back of your mind, the very, very back of the mind, the part that's empty, that we've probably, something bad has probably happened and it traumatized us, and the reason why we tell you to fuck off is because it's because we're traumatized. That's just it. Try to give us the benefit of the doubt and don't call us bitches when we ask you to leave us alone. And last but not least, please respect the word no, okay? I know that's a 2-letter word and it's not as powerful as most people think, but please start respecting the word no. That was it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next week. But until then, stay hydrated and be kind to yourselves. Goodbye.